I'm the 216 hosted by your boy Will here, man. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling today as we get into another interesting video topic? So, recap. We have the Browns playing the Carolina Panthers, and it was a preseason game on a Friday night. We usually don't get Friday night football, so it kind of felt weird. I would hope this would be like a victory Monday feeling, but it's a victory Saturday feeling, so it's a little weird, but nonetheless, it's always good to win, regardless of what the setting is. When it's the Browns versus the opposition, it always feels good to win. I know it's just a preseason and it don't mean anything, but at least we didn't get our ass kicked. I remember last preseason, we lost. It was enjoyable, so I'll just be grateful, y'all, for the good times. I don't feel like, this team, who never know how many times they're going to be able to say they won a game, so I always got to be grateful. But nevertheless, we had this Cleveland Browns team, and I just want to go out and give some performance grades and go through. I know everybody came here for Shedeur Sanders, obviously. And we're going to talk about the kid. Well, not the kid. We're going to talk about the grown man, Shedeur Sanders, the NFL quarterback, Shedeur Sanders. We're gonna talk about him. Stay tuned for that. So, Dylan Sampson didn't really flash like that. I think he had an okay run. It looked like he was there, Gage, all the receivers, they stepped up to play. I will say that. Let's just start off. I don't know if it was from, the energy or if it was the quarterback, but the receivers stepped up to play. What was his name? Luke had a beautiful catch. One hand. He didn't even have to do it one hand because the ball was on the money. And I'm going to try to put the clips up throughout this video. I've been taking off, having my title in up there. So y'all let me know how y'all been liking the content a little bit differently. I've been trying to make it a little bit better for y'all so y'all can see some more football or, more stuff pop up on the screen for y'all. So I'm going to try to put some clips through here. But, yeah, he didn't even have to one-hand catch it if we go back and look at it. He was just showing out. That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. Hey, shout out to Luke, man. Luke need to make the team. That's how you put yourself on the map. That was ridiculous. He talking about right here with it. That brother is hollering. That's all I'm going to say. But I thought Gage, Luke played phenomenal. I thought Kaden Davis played phenomenal. I would give them a B+A for what their expectations was going up against majority ones and twos. So, yeah, I think they played well as far as that. I thought the offensive line played amazing. I don't know if it was because of the quarterback, but it felt like Shedeur had all day back there sometimes. I felt like he was super duper comfortable. They didn't get no pressure. Despite, in the joint practice, them getting, losing, they still came out and competed and outperformed and outplayed the Carolina Panthers offensive line. Defensive line, which was really nice to see. It did give a sense, and I'm not trying to put too much into it, but it did kind of feel like everybody was lifted off of the energy in the arena, So I feel like the offensive line and the receivers played up to a level because of just the monument of the game, if you can understand what I'm saying. I don't know if you could credit that all to Shedeur Sanders, but I think everybody really was hyped to play. I think you could really tell everybody was hyped to play. And it was a real excitement to go out there and compete. And I think that uplifted this group. And I think offensively, they played amazing. I think they played well. I don't really got nothing to complain about. I didn't really watch Tyler Huntley out there, but I know they scored another touchdown. So I think offensively, they played amazing. No complaints there. They held them to 10 points, I'm pretty sure. No complaints there. The defense did good. Now, they did let Ted McMillan get off. He did have 2 catches for 40 yards. Don't want to see that. Looked like he was getting cooked. Denzel Ward probably shuts that down. So, don't really stress about it. But this Cleveland Browns team is an injured corner away from being very, very bad in the cornerback room. So that's the bad part of losing. This video is sponsored by Detrimental Figures, my brand here. As y'all see, some of the quality of my recent work. You get a signature tag on it as well. You know, we make and really emphasize quality over quantity. So, you know, we try to take and make sure we use the best materials to come up with our shirts and the best designs. Make sure y'all following us on Instagram, Detrimental Figures. So y'all can also get the description down below and hit the link for a shirt. Everything I drop is limited edition. So unfortunately, this shirt is sold out. I don't have any more, but I have different things coming up similar to it. So keep in mind, and I'll keep you guys updated with some of my new stuff throughout these videos coming up. Martin Emerson, you lose some depth. They need to get another corner before the camp ends. I would like to see them do that. Now getting into the quarterback, Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur is everything he say he is. I'm gonna just say it like that. I think Shedeur is everything he believes he is, and I think a lot of people don't like that because it's hard to get that within yourself. You know, that level of confidence, that level of belief, that level of trust within your craft, that level of belief within God, that level of confidence within yourself to go through trials and tribulations, to be in uncharted territories, and to still be the same you. You know, to come out, the moment is never too big for him. And I think you can't teach poise. It's the intangibles about Shedeur Sanders that make me light up to feel like he's capable of being a franchise quarterback, because you just can't teach that, man. Look at Deshaun Watson. He came out against the Cowboys and played bad in a big game. I don't get the sense Shedeur Sanders is going to come out and play bad. And you know what that reminds me of? And I don't want to go overboard here. It's one fucking preseason game. I know y'all don't kill me in the comments, but it reminds me of Jaden Daniels a lot. It really reminds me of Jaden Daniels a lot, because Jaden Daniels in college was so poised and so it was like he was playing Madden. Jaden Daniels is dead ass playing Madden when he plays football. So it's like seeing him play like that and then watching the same poise within Shedeur Sanders, it gives me that same sense that he's kind of still capable of being that guy. He just got that you can't really teach that magic in him, like where he just gets lucky. Not even gets lucky, it's just like it just happens. He just can make a play. Like, he's just a playmaker. You can't really teach it. It's like Tyrese Halliburton in basketball. You can't really teach it. You know, he's a playmaker. He just has that natural clutch gene, and it's in his DNA. And I think one thing that I feel like is big, look at Mel Kiper Jr. Mel Kiper Jr. said he was the best quarterback in the draft, the entire draft. And, you know, everybody was saying he was overreacting. Mel Kiper Jr. said the NFL was wrong and they're going to continue to be wrong. So I just think it's interesting to look back at it. And I think Mel Kiper Jr. might have been on the money with it. You know, he has a lot of promise. And for his weakness yesterday to be accuracy, that's his strong suit. So he's only going to get more accurate with the football. He's only going to get more on time. If he's able to play with that star power of breaking out of sacks and making plays and making big runs, kind of similar to like a Joe Burrow or Pat Mahomes, where he just makes that play that breaks your back. You can't teach that. Like, you really can't. You really can't. I think he's capable of being a star, man. You know, I think everything about yesterday showed it. I've been saying it this entire time. If you go back to my last videos, you go back to before the draft, what I think we should have did. I said we should have took him at 2, and he looked like a first round talent yesterday. I just want to say that. I give the kid an A-. I don't know why I keep saying the kid. I gotta stop saying that shit, but I give him. I'm only saying it because he's a rookie, but he's not a kid, so it's not like I should be saying that. But I give him an A-. I think he played amazing for what his situation was. We got to remember he's not getting reps with the starters. He's been out there with the second team the entire time, the third team. He's 4th on the depth chart. And he looked pretty well. You know, he made some very impressive throws. But not only that, was his decision-making in the moment. You know, man coverage, everybody back turn, he breaks a run. You can't teach that. You can't. He's throwing with anticipation in the middle. You know, that's not something that Deshaun Watson was doing. So I think it's very impressive. I think the more reps and the more gameplay he get out there, he gonna look real good, man. It's gonna be very telling it's going to be a lot of pressure put on Kevin Stefanski. It's going to be a lot of pressure put on Kevin Stefanski. Because if Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, or Kenny Pickett don't look like a top 15 quarterback, they're going to get booed. We're going to lose games. And the noise is going to get loud for Shedeur to play. And if Shedeur gets out there and he's playing anything like how he played yesterday, with the ones, with David Njoku and Jerry Jeudy and Kushan Junkins, this Cleveland Browns team is going to upset a lot of people bets this year. That's all I'm going to say. They're going to be definitely a sleeper upset team. And I think they're capable of maximum winning 8 games. You know, but it's going to depend. And I know it's probably a lot, but this is what I've always believed before the season started. I believed this before the draft. This is what my stance was. So now that this 5th round pick stuff happened and all this like bashing and discrediting, he's still the same player. You know, I think he's still the same guy. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see. I could be wrong, though. You know, I'm okay with being wrong. If Dylan Gabriel outcompetes and have a good game against the Eagles and Shedeur starts to struggle 2 games in a row, hey, I'll go wrong, hey, you know. But I see it, man. I've been calling it this whole time. I'm not about to just go away with it because of whatever conspiracy theory people think he's not going to be able to translate to the NFL. I'm not about to just go with that. He's been that same guy. It's the same thing with, like, Jaden Daniels. Like I said, Jaden Daniels been the same guy, college or NFL. It don't matter. He's too poised. He has too much intent. Like, he has too much pocket control, pocket presence that the game's not really going to get out of his hand. He's accurate. He's not going to turn the football over, and he can make a run when he needs to. That sounds like a top 10 quarterback to me. So we're going to see. I'm not saying right now. I'm saying he could definitely grow into it. But y'all comment down below what y'all think, how y'all feel, what grade y'all give everybody. Didn't really see nothing from Mason Graham, but we're going to, you know what I'm saying, we're going to let him slide. We're going to let Mason Graham slide. Didn't really see that much from Carson Swigert. We're going to let him slide. We're going to let him slide. But it's your boy Will. I'm out.